Recording in progress.
Fresh start, clean start.
Yeah,
clean
we
start.
got to start this podcast over.
Guys, what a fun start. Mitch was just about to tell us a juicy tale from New York.
Juicy Tales from New York with Mitchell Mack.
Someone play some jazz.
Was I? I decided to take, I decided to take the mic off the stand. I just wanted a little more freedom.
Oh, that actually works
okay.
great. That actually, you look cool too.
Yeah, I do look pretty cool.
You should try stand up. Looks good on you.
What else? You guys heard about this? They can't even see this. The listener at home can't even see what I'm doing right now. Anyway, so
The listener at home.
He's so concerned.
That's our first T-shirt for sure.
I am concerned for the listener at home. So guys, I came back from New York. I was in New York, and there's a lot of cool stuff that happened. But the one thing that I was going to tell you guys was that Aaron and I were walking to the Met, and it was rainy and it was cold, and we walked past a dispensary store, and I was like, "Hey,
Oh,
I need
no.
to get some edibles." It's because it's not allowed where I live. And so I went in, and he was like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "I want the stuff that gets you the highest."
Oh
He was
my
like,
Oh my goodness.
and
Just
he
straight
was-
to the
He was
point.
like, yeah, and he was like, "Okay." Keep in mind, the thing I normally get is like 10 milligrams of whatever it's called, a little thing, right? And he was like, "Boom, this thing has 100 milligrams a
Mitch.
pop."
Oh,
and I was like,
no, Mitch.
"What?"
You already
Like-
know. This is a bad
Yeah,
idea.
No, yeah, that was a terrible idea. And I was like, "Whoa, I don't want to get that high." Goodness gracious. But I got ones that were 50 a pop. And so I would half it
Oh,
and then half that.
Yeah.
And which leaves me with 12 and a half. And I took it, and that night we watched the show that Evan and I were just talking about, the Pentavert with Mike Myers.
Oh, I bet it was much
And
better in that state.
It was freaking hilarious, dude. And there was like 3 minutes where I was watching Mike Myers play a character, and it wasn't until the scene was over where I was like, "That was Mike Myers." And Aaron was like, "Yeah, you're an idiot. This whole show is everyone's Mike Myers in this
That
show, you
is-
dumbass."
Did Aaron take one with you?
No,
Did
she
you take a
she doesn't have a good
12.5?
experience with them.
She doesn't dabble.
And so
Okay,
I
gotcha.
I wish she would, but she doesn't have fun with them like I do.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm not gonna force that on her.
Yeah,
unlike
you're not
you
going to
guys
pull
do
up
to me.
us to you. Yeah. Yeah. Marshall would be on your case right away, as he should.
You're
I'm not
be
gonna
like,
Evan and Trey
Yeah.
her into taking
Whoa, whoa,
drugs.
don't name that move after us.
12.5.
Yeah.
I
You won't even
Bed?
It's not a big. It's less than a gummy bear. Just throw it down.
I'm pretty sure regular gummies have more than that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm.
Guys, I'm in a blanket. I'm out in the living room.
Yeah. Can you tell us why you're kind of whispering? Just give us
Yes,
a.
I mean, so for the listener at home, it's 11:30 p.m. where I am,
Mhm.
and whenever we're doing this, my wife, I'm done at like 1 a.m. and I walk out in the bedroom, and my wife was like, "Hey, I'm awake, and I heard everything. And you're loud."
You're like, "You're welcome. Like and subscribe."
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I'm like, why don't you ever listen to the podcast, babe? And she's like, "I do." I
yeah, but
listen
only
to
1/3
every
of it,
episode.
really. She only gets 1/3 of the podcast.
Well, according to you guys earlier, she only gets like 1/10 of the podcast. I'm just the setup guy. What else?
Yeah, that's.
Mitch, I realize
No,
that
but
joke
yeah,
was hurtful,
so-
and I regret saying it.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
I've learned.
the sword has been thrust.
Yeah.
It penetrated.
Tongue can be sharp. Yeah. You gotta
So yeah.
learn to
So
sheath
like,
it.
so like I put a blanket around the bedroom door, and I put a pillow under the door,
Mhm.
and some socks in a little hole where there was still air getting through.
Yeah, because you died. You just died from lack of oxygen.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of with Aaron now. I'm like, there's no air getting in or out of there.
It
I'm
won't be that. You'll
concerned.
just
when
you'll
you-
smell
yeah,
every
climb
single
into
fart
bed.
she's done as soon as you get into
Yeah.
the room.
Just put your
Well,
fingers
that's-
above her
that's what-
nose. Just make sure
That's
some
what
air
the
is coming out.
clofus is. The clofus, I mean, I'm pretty sure all of my sound pads are just seeped with my scent.
Oh, 100%.
It's
If you got water, if you took those pads down and you put them into a bathtub and you rang it out, what do you think? What do you think would happen? It would be wild.
it would be black.
It
I
would be
think all the pads
wild.
would just start coughing. They'd be like,
It's making noise. It's bubbling. Gosh,
You're setting us free.
there's a lot of methane in here. You just blow up your bathroom. Quite literally. I mean, like physically, I pictured explosions. Not like the
I
meth.
wouldn't be surprised.
So, Mitch, how was New York? Because you went for the first time, and you went for like a whole week, right? Or like a good amount of time.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so we were there Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, left Sunday morning. And so I got there Thursday, and I was like a child flying into New York. I was looking at everything. I was like, oh, there's the Empire State Building. Oh, there's Central Park. Oh, yeah. And it was like literally everything. We got on the subway, and I was like, oh, wow. And there was like there was like a homeless dude singing "Yesterday" by the Beatles, and I was tempted to join in. I was like, I feel like I should join in here. And yeah, so we got to our Airbnb, dropped off our stuff. We went to 30 Rock, and I was walking around 30 Rock. I was like, dude, this is where they film SNL.
Right.
This is where I want to work before I'm 30. Like I walked in the foyer, and it was like a religious experience. And then I get to the top of 30 Rock, and I see the whole view of New York, and I'm like, oh my, this is amazing. This is incredible. And that was like the first night. And then we ruined it by going to Times Square.
Yeah.
Times Square is ass.
Yeah.
So that was terrible. But then Friday was amazing. We went to this arcade before the comedy show. I did the comedy show, and then get this on Thursday night at Times Square. There were some people like, see our comedy show, and I was like, yeah, right, loser. And then that day, this girl Angela, who booked me on the show, she was like, hey, go out in the streets and tell people to come to our show. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, be careful who you call loser. You will become that loser.
There's a thin veil that separates us from the losers.
Yes,
So
just the
literally,
same person doing. They're just trying to make their way into the world.
Dude, yeah, they were, and so I was there on the street, and I was like, "Hey, come to this comedy show, come to yeah, blah 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 blah," and it was kind of fun after a while. Did the show, it was a blast. There were a bunch of great comics that went up. And then that night, went to the Comedy Cellar. I was like, "You got tickets?" And they were like, "Hell no!" And I was like, "All right." But there was another comedy show like right next door, so Aaron and I went to that. It was freaking hilarious.
Yeah,
and then I had the best slice of pizza I've ever had in my entire life.
Guys,
Like,
let's Mitch.
Wow.
We're
Wow.
clapping
What a
for your
night.
New York trip. You
What a
lived the
night.
dream, dude.
That's amazing.
You just did
Yeah.
a stand-up set in New York.
Yeah.
Had your first slice of pizza. You had the wandering eyes of a young child.
I
That's
did.
So question: what song did you listen to when you were landing? I'm just curious. I just picture you had your AirPods in, and I don't know why. It was a
Concrete
hunch,
jungle.
but I had a feeling you chose a specific song for your landing.
I wish I did. I don't have Spotify Premium right now, so it probably would have just been like an ad, you know. It would have been like, thanks for listening. Now here's 30 minutes of ad-free music of like songs that I hate.
Yeah, they
And I'm
give you
like
like
Spotify.
You've listened to enough commercials. Like now you can enjoy it. Okay, let's replay this. Say you did. What song are you choosing? What are you landing?
I don't know. Probably some like Frank Sinatra or
Okay.
something. You know.
That's
I
it.
am white.
That's all you can do.
That's all.
Are you?
It's all I can listen to. Oh yeah. Or it could have been like a Guns N' Roses "Welcome to the Jungle" or something.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You know? You're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die.
That's a lot of energy going into that landing strip.
Yeah, it is.
That's almost.
Yeah.
That's definitely not
Yeah.
a chill way to enter New York. Just busting the gate open like.
Yeah, I think I would have been a little too like jazzed. but yeah.
That's
Okay.
exciting.
So something else. This is the last thing I'll say because like Saturday was a pretty good day. We went to the Met stuff. It wasn't as good. Friday was like the pinnacle of life.
Right.
But at the comedy show. The first comic, the host was like pointing us out, Aaron and I, because we were at the side. They're like, "Oh, look at those two, blah blah blah." And then another comic pointed us out, and they're like, "What's your name, Mitch?" And they got our whole backstory. And by the end of the night, everyone in the crowd knew that Aaron and I were from Atlanta, that we were married for 3.5 years, and that we met at church. Like they knew our whole backstory.
That's great.
And they were like, and like one comic came up on stage and he was like, "Oh, are you Christian Mitch?" And I was like, "I
Oh
guess."
my gosh.
Christian Mitch, dude. That's the sickest name ever.
That's your new stage name. for
Welcome to
sure.
the
I was
stage,
in- I was
Christian
in-
Mitch.
Yeah.
That's
It's
sick.
kind of a
That's
cool
what I was
name.
thinking.
That is cool. That is
Oh,
Christian.
but the thing I wanted to say about that was like I'm so like at times I'm so egotistical and big headed that when they kept calling me out and stuff, I was like, I'm gonna get stage time. I'm gonna get stage time. It's bound to happen.
Yep.
They're gonna give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna kill. It's
And
bound to
we're never going
happen.
back to Atlanta. This is the start of my
And
career.
and so it begins.
Dude,
This is
I
my start.
I have that syndrome as well, where I'm like, sooner or later, I'm gonna be on that stage for some reason. I
Oh.
never thought it at like when I went to the Comedy Cellar, but I definitely can relate to having that feeling, especially if they're talking about you. And then at any point, did you say that I came here to do comedy? Could you say that?
Well, that's the thing. I was hoping they'd be like, "Oh, what's your job,
Right.
Christian Mitch?" And then I'd be like, "I'm a stand-up comic."
Yeah.
And then everyone in the crowd would be like, "Oh my!" But they never asked, and so I didn't want to be like, "By the way."
I know.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that guy. You want to be asked. You don't want to.
Exactly.
But
I had a good thing going. I didn't want to ruin it.
Totally. Yeah, you were there to be entertained, not entertain.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to soak in the trip. You just got to bask in its glory. You had a pizza. Where'd you go? What, you remember what it's called?
I think it was called like Joe's.
Great.
It was right next to the Comedy Cellar. It was like Joe's Pizza on 7th or something.
Fun.
And
man.
the guys there were like they just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I loved it. They're like, "What do you want?" And I was like, 2 pepperoni slices, please. And they're like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
They're
like, I
kind of
just love
lukewarm.
that
They're not even that
energy.
hot, but they're so good still.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean,
Were they good?
Genuinely the best pizza I've ever had in my life. And then the last night we were
Wow.
there, I had the best pasta I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
The Olive Garden. Have you heard of it? Oh,
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden
Garden.
NYC hits different.
yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. With a bunch of douchey waiters at Olive Garden is just mwah.
Do you remember the name of the pasta place?
I mean, it's on my phone. I would have to look it up, but it was something like Camillo's or something.
Okay.
It was in Brooklyn. It was walking distance from our Airbnb. And after eating there, I was like, we're gonna go back here
Man,
forever.
This whole section could be sponsored by Travel New York City. Like it makes you want to go. It makes you want to go experience it.
Travel New
Gosh,
York,
makes you want
baby.
to get
Yeah.
a pea coat
do
and
it.
do the whole thing.
Guys trip?
Guys trip, unpaid
trip to New York?
unpaid takes on New York. Oh my gosh.
Unpaid regulars.
We should. Yeah, one of our goals is it goes Reading. You know, we hit Reading.
Yeah, yeah.
We get Simpson
Half-
College.
Yeah.
We get the Cascade. God, we're hitting it. Maybe we get Sacramento,
If we're lucky.
then New York.
But then for sure New York.
we were,
And then New York right after.
Manhattan.
we take Manhattan by storm.
It's like Simpson, Chico State, Manhattan.
Bethel first year,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I think we're ready.
Your 6th grade
Enter,
class.
enter the
We could do
Bethel
a set.
Talent Show.
I had a kid ask me, he's like, "Hey, Evan, do you do stand up?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What's some of your jokes?" I was like, "Are they inappropriate?" I was like, "Yeah, some of them." So, yeah, let's get back to doing some math. Let's not talk about that right now.
Did you say doing some math?
Not math. Yeah,
Yeah,
our school is
M-E-T-H.
I was
wild.
like, what kind of school is this?
Guys, I started Claritin last week. It's an easy slope.
Yeah.
Math.
Yeah.
Yep.
I forgot.
Yeah, Claritin to meth, dude. Gateway
Yeah,
drug.
Evans. I love how Evan, you're so sure of like, yes, it's meth.
You know what's so funny is I listened to that part of the podcast during our review, and I was like, man, I could be so wrong about this. I was like, did someone play devil's advocate for me? I hope they did because I could be very wrong. But I still think it's true.
You didn't look it up?
No, I think I looked it up last time. I can't remember. I don't
Life is
recall.
honestly happy if you don't fact check yourself.
Yeah, that's
You have more
that's-
fun.
That's
Yeah,
that's
it's
white.
more
That's white
wild.
guy confidence right there. Just
No, I'm
saying
right.
whatever you want, and you be like, yeah, I think it's true.
Yeah, that's good.
I accept that as truth.
Yep.
If it's not, it's my truth.
Well, that's what I did last week, and I'm here for it.
Mitch,
Yeah.
when you said the thing about the feeling like you're always getting called on stage, I've had that since I was a kid. Evan, you
Well, I mean, the
mentioned
trampoline.
the trampoline thing.
Yeah.
You're like, they don't know who they just
They don't
drove
even
past.
know who they drove past.
So I
Uh-huh.
wonder if that's a common thing between like people who want to do
Oh,
comedy or anyone who wants to be on
probably.
stage. Probably
I-
just
yeah,
feels.
I think so because it's always like I always have this vision of like I'm seeing a band and the drummer breaks both of his arms in a freak accident, and then they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we need a drummer from the audience, and I'm like, I know how to drum.
Absolutely.
And then I get up on stage, yeah. So it's like at someone else's expense,
yeah.
I succeed.
Okay, well, let's just take that's reality. We would not have Tom Brady if that didn't happen. So you have you're on the sideline. I mean, granted, he's still in the NFL. It's not like he's in the stands. He climbs over the gate. Put me in, coach. He's still an NFL player. But yeah, I think it's healthy to personally. I think it's healthy to have those
A
kind
little
of
bit.
visions because it's
Yeah.
kind of like you visualizing. If you can visualize yourself doing something, you're going to be ready to rock. Like if you can visualize yourself stepping on a stage and telling jokes in front of that New York crowd. Like, for example, you're sitting in that chair. I'm sure that thought is like, if they call me up, what am I going to do? It's kind of cool to have that back pocket mindset.
I had my jokes.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like, I know.
You
That's
had
awesome.
your 2-minute set list. If
I
they
did.
had given you 2 minutes, what would you have done?
Oh, I would have gone with my openers. I would have gone with, looked like my favorite hobby is being a Mormon. Right after I lost my virginity, I found it again. And then I think I would have talked about my bald spot, like the back and forth with that.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe I would have thrown in an Al Pacino at the end,
Yeah, you got
would have
close to the
walked
Al
off,
Pacino.
dropped the mic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boom.
Yeah, that's
All
airtight.
she wrote.
I definitely have that like put me in coach mentality wherever I am.
It's great.
Always. But as a kid, it I would go to my siblings like sports games, like, and I love playing basketball and football and everything. So the most painful thing for me is watching my siblings play because I was like, I just want to play. Like, put me in one time, and it obviously never happened because I was much older than most of my siblings. But one time at Bryant's basketball game, literally, I wore breakaway basketball pants with like basketball shorts underneath.
Just ready.
I was ready. And it was YMCA basketball, and literally his team didn't have enough guys. There's only 4 kids. And I was in the bleachers, and the coach was like, hey, Bryant's brother, do you want to come play? And I was like, are you
And you were ready. And you had the tearaway pants?
Yeah.
Did you get to do the whole thing?
I don't remember. I wish
I
would
have.
love to say that I know that I did.
No,
I
just
don't
say
know
you
if
did.
I might have played in them. Remember, I was homeschooled. I was so excited.
That is the moment they were built for. They were literally designed by somebody in a shop for that exact moment. Hey, kid, you throw? You were so excited you forgot to rip away your pants.
I probably tucked in my JCPenney polo and just went to
work.
That
is so badass, though.
That's amazing,
guys.
So I got in the game and proceeded to score 0 points and absolutely brick every shot that I threw up in like a league for guys 2 years younger than me.
Always ready.
It was so painful. I remember at halftime being like, this will turn around. This will turn around.
I got this.
Did not turn around. I got worse as time went on.
To be honest, that is... Dude, Trey, that is such a funny story.
Yeah.
That should be part of your like kind of your basketball. Like if you have like a when you talk about basketball, that
I can
should
do
weave
like
that
a
into a
cutaway
set because the idea of being so excited that you forget to rip away your tearaway pants, like, and then go and suck.
Yeah,
that's actually.
I would.
I
think John Mulaney has a bit about that. He says, "Do you know what it's like to sit on a bench with tearaway pants and never get to tear them away?"
I think that's like his
really
like
funny.
early
That's really
stuff,
fun. I haven't
right?
heard that.
Yeah.
That's funny, dude.
That's from his.
Man, he's good.
Oh,
yeah,
he's the GOAT.
Yeah, that Mulaney guy. He's
got some stuff.
He's going places.
Some would say he could be on the Mount Rushmore of comedy, but I digress.
Some would say.
I digress.
Or maybe all 3 of us would say.
I don't give it to him, but that's okay. Hey, it's okay. It's whatever. That is so.
Oh, that's
funny.
right. Evan's a heretic.
Yeah, burn me.
Evan, how was your week?
Oh, I had a great week.
Did you?
I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a zit on my nose, and it's hard to see.
I can see it.
It's hard to see,
That's
but it makes
what
it kinda,
you want from
it's a little red, and it just makes it look like
Yeah.
I'm kind of wearing like a girl Instagram filter, like
The Rudolph one.
listener
yeah,
at
kind of
home.
like the one where
I'm
it just
a
gets your
deer.
cheeks blush. And,
Yeah.
But
I was thinking
I've
you
been,
look like a
I've been
sexy
around a
deer.
lot of dirt this week. It was motocross week at school. That is a real sentence I just said. It was motocross week at school.
Welcome to Reading.
And I did landscaping this week. I was around a lot of dirt.
Yeah.
Just a lot of dirt, so my pores are clogged.
Bro, you didn't like exfoliate at night or anything?
Oh no! I don't even know if I showered. I think I just fell asleep from exhaustion. I think there's
I
definitely
think I
a
fell
reason.
asleep on a dirt
Yeah,
mound.
I think my face was down in a pile. No, it was today at school. We one of the activities was teaching them the anatomy of a dirt bike track, and we built miniature scale dirt bike tracks, and they had to like understand what they were for, the science behind why is there burn, dude. And plus, we have kids who love to dirt bike in the school, and so part of the week was actually going to a real motocross track and riding. And I was like, okay, well, this is the coolest thing ever. I didn't get to ride, but I have never wanted to go $8,000 into debt so fast to get a dirt bike. But then, another $25,000 in debt to get a truck, and then another $50,000 to get a shop. This is a whole expense.
That's not including the medical bills.
It's not including me just shattering my shins. But it's been a great week. Quick book update. I have been reading
7 Habits.
7 Habits. I actually have not continued to read that.
Wow.
No,
all
I'm
right.
reading. There's a
Good
book that I've
start.
been working on. It's more of a writing exercise book. It's literally couldn't be more of a blatant title. It's called Writing Better Lyrics, but it's a great book, and it's just full of, I was like, I'm just going to cruise through this and just understand it. No, it's just like chock full of really in-depth exercises that have been really actually probably super helpful for even writing comedy, just to get your brain
Really?
moving, just to get it thinking about and seeing
It's got
different
like
things.
like prompts and stuff.
Yeah, look, one of the exercises I did today was you write down a list of adjectives, and then you write down a list of nouns, and then you write a creative sentence attaching the two like adjective to noun in a way that you wouldn't really ever before. And the example they used, I don't even know what I wrote, but the example they used was like decaffeinated and rainbow, and they talked about how like a phone call, the world lost its color. Even the rainbow's decaffeinated. Just like, and I'm like, oh, that's actually, but that's actually good for stand-up too, because it's about just saying something in a clear way, but a little bit different. That makes somebody go, oh, that was a clever way to say that. And so I was like, this is cool. This is a double-edged sword for this. So that's a good book. That's the book update, guys. Chess this week. I have fallen into. It's like ever since we talked about the chess in 4th grade, something has rekindled in me.
Love that.
And I realized I wasn't playing it out of fear. Like I wasn't playing it because I'm like, I was scared that I wasn't as good as I was back in 4th grade. And I've downloaded like 2 apps. I've watched so many YouTube videos. I had a realization, and this is kind of my bit that I want to work on. So I'm going to not go into it, but just describe it because this is the bit. This is all I have. But everything is chess. All of it. Life is chess. I was in a coffee shop the other day, and I was just like seeing things. Like, I'm not kidding you. The way that when you look at a chessboard, you're like, oh, if I go here, the bishop goes here. If I go here, the knight goes there. If I do this, the rook goes here. I was in a coffee shop, and I was staring I looked across the seat, and there was a backpack that was by itself. And I was like, someone forgot their backpack. Someone came through the door. It was a couple, and they were like, hey, they started talking. I couldn't hear them talking. They were talking. I'm like, they're looking for their backpack. And then like, it's right there across. And then they went and looked behind the desk. I'm like, that's not it. Their backpack's right there. And they're like, oh, is this it? And they came to the booth, and I was like, that was chess. I just saw 4 moves ahead before it ever happened. Guys, I feel like I've on an enlightened journey. Like if I'm going to write my 7 Habits book, it's going to be called Life is Chess. And just a lot of, but I was like, there's something for a comedy bit in that where I can talk about the 4th grade chess, kind of go into it, and then think of scenarios where I've been pinned between a knight and a bishop. And then like I think there's something funny about that. It's like, what is the knight? What is the bishop? And there's a comic that's like to me, it's a good cookie cutter sheet that I can start decorating on and start playing with because chess is actually something that's really near and dear to me, and I love the angles that you see in it. And I think there's a lot of analogies to make in life that could be really funny if you find the right angles.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Whoa.
Yeah. It kind of was, but that's been my epiphany this year.
Writing jokes
this year, probably actually, but yeah, this week it was like chess is life, and I googled the name. Like I was like, who plays? Where did it get its name from? It's called the Game of Kings, and I was like, that's the most badass name ever. And it was actually a mispronunciation. Somebody didn't know how to translate between the language, and they ended up calling it chess. But I was like, the Game of Kings could not be a cooler name.
But how do you get there from Game of Kings?
It was translated from, I think the first culture to play it was Arabic, I want to say. Oh, I could be so wrong about that. It might be Indian or Arabic. But and then the rules have changed over the years for a long time. But it was the way it was said from that language into English. It was just misheard. But I was like, the Game of Kings is such a cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the Queen's Gambit's a good name, but the Game of Kings. Oh.
Dude, that sounds like an awesome
so that's been my
like that can be the backstory for the guy who trains her.
Yes, the janitor.
You know he's got a story.
Oh, he has to. But he wasn't a chess master. But it would be interesting to see, his.
But I bet he was close.
You find out that he was a chess master.
That's even cooler.
But he lost all his friends because he kept dominating them. And then he realized that he doesn't have to win at chess in life to be successful.
To be happy. He just needs to teach his little bald girls.
He had like a...
Oh, she wasn't bald. I just mixed Stranger Things with the Queen's Gambit. Not little bald girl. I take that back. Little redhead girls with bangs.
I was like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I mixed the bald girl.
Her and 11 just swap spaces in my head.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
I love that mix
Anyway,
up.
that's my little rant. I feel like I'm on a journey right now.
Yeah.
Of enlightenment.
I love that for you.
And it's pretty great.
You know what this podcast needs that I'm realizing? We need a fact checker just for Evan. Because Evan brings
I say so many things
facts.
that could be accurate. Like I watch a lot of history things, but it doesn't mean I retain it. So I watch a lot of History Channel and just it's like, okay, I've got a really blurred vision of this. I'm watching The Age of the Samurai on this.
You've just been watching drunk history.
Yeah, just like
you don't like you think that's just the History Channel.
Got it, Evan. These guys are drunk. It's pretty good though.
I do love. In all fairness, Evan, every time you say this could be totally wrong.
I have to preface this. I had a good buddy. I don't know if he listens to our podcast, but Nick, he's awesome. He does stand up as well. But we talked about, he would say like every time before he'd speak, he'd be like, I just want you to know, I'm the biggest dumbass there is. Like he would just really degrade himself, and then he'd say a pretty like smart thing. But it is a good way to like, it's not. I mean, it's self-deprecation, but it is to be like before you say something so heavy.
Yeah.
To kind of like, I don't know if that's necessarily healthy, But it is but it definitely lowers the guards of everyone around you because they're like, oh, I'm probably gonna go tell my friend that this is a fact. Like, when you hear stories like that, you're gonna go tell your buddies, like, oh, I heard this.
Like, well, yeah, he told you he was an idiot.
Yeah, but he gave you the preface. You signed the agreement and decided to go with it. So that's kind of the bit that I'm going to be working on. I'm kind of excited about it. So.
Yeah, that's chess. It's a fun bit.
Well, Trey, how was your week, huh?
My week has been okay. Yeah, it's been good. It's been Gabby is 3 weeks away from having the baby. Well, we think
that's amazing.
As far as we know,
that's exciting.
And yeah, so her due date is. So this is weird. So her due date is June 7th, but I had a random dream that she gave birth on a Thursday. So that's not important. What's important is that she randomly came to me one day and was like, I know our due date's on the 7th, but I think I'm going to give birth on the 2nd. And I was like, well, I had a dream that you gave birth on a Thursday. And then we looked at a calendar.
Oh.
The 2nd is a Thursday.
Guys, you heard it here. The baby's coming on the 2nd. Oh, that's going to be cool when that happens.
I'm like, it's got to happen,
right?
Oh,
it has to.
So
if both of you.
Yeah. But it was kind of a weird moment. It's kind of like shocking. Like, whoa, hold on.
That could be if that comes to pass, that could be a weird, like, okay, yeah, something's going down.
Well, that's kind of what happened with our first baby.
I
don't know if I ever told you this story. I know Mitch knows this story. I know Phil knows this story.
Oh, I think our listeners and myself would love to hear it. I do not know.
With our first,
they would.
So before we got pregnant, or before we knew we were pregnant, we were in New York City, living it up on New Year's Eve in Brooklyn, and we're just dancing, having fun. Both of us are having multiple margaritas, and this lady comes up to us. And she's like, you guys are a beautiful couple. And I'm like, thanks so much. She's like, can I take your picture? And we're like, sure. And she's like, give me your phone. And so now I've been robbed before.
Right.
But my alarms were not going off. Yeah. So I trusted her. I was like, you can take a picture of us. Thank you so much. So she takes a picture of us. We're like, that's so nice. What's your name? Linda. Nice to meet you, Linda. And then she touches my wife's stomach and goes, when's your baby due?
Whoa.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Could be offensive, but I like
that's not true. She touches my wife's stomach and goes, there's a baby in there. That's how she said it. There's a baby.
No way.
Yeah. And then we're like, what? And granted, like we've had a few margaritas. We're just kind of like, we're still kind of dancing, like bopping. Like this lady we misheard. We're like, what's like? Yeah, there's a baby in there and it's a girl.
No.
Yeah. And we're like, no. The guy was like, I'm not pregnant, but thank you. And they're like, yeah. This lady seemed super cool at first, but then she got kind of weird. And she was dressed in like full African garb.
Whoa.
She was African. It wasn't like a weird.
Right. It's not like a white lady with red hair. Just
it wasn't like a Nancy Pelosi situation.
Yeah.
But yeah. But she had full African garb on. And then she just she walked away. I never saw her again for the rest of the night. 4 weeks later, we find out we're pregnant. And then a month later, we find out it's a girl. That's a true story.
Oh, so, that's wild.
So the idea
touched by an angel, per se?
Perhaps, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
angel stories, dude.
So, real. But I mean, what was the purpose of that? If it was an angel, why would an angel?
I don't know. Here's my thing. Here's the deal. If it is an angel, let's go with it because I like it. It's just cool.
Cool.
I mean, sometimes
I love that motive.
I feel like do angels always have to do something or does God always have to do something so I did this with extreme? More like no.
Well, I mean, I have some back pain. That would have been awesome if she had touched that.
She's like, I'm busy. I got to go touch other people's bellies.
She's like,
I have so many people to tell that they're pregnant.
She's like, I want to have a Mary and Joseph experience. I want to give them a. No, just touch my knees. I'm really
just my knees are
sore joints. I don't care to know about
this. IT band is really acting up. If you could just outside.
No, but yeah. So if it was Thursday the 2nd, I wouldn't be that surprised. Because it's I've experienced
I kind of really love it. To me, I mean, what's the significance of it? We're talking about it right now, aren't we? You know what I'm saying? It's hey, that's pretty cool.
Maybe people will believe in angels from this story.
Guys, just close your eyes.
Yeah, people.
I would just like to let one of our listeners know you're pregnant. There's a baby. I'm feeling something. We're gonna get a testimony back into the Unpaid Regulars Instagram. Guys, I was listening to your podcast. It was so wild. I drove home so fast and I peed on a stick, and you would not believe it.
They were mid-pregnancy scare when they were listening to this.
They're just
you said that. They're like, God.
I would love it if it was
we're not married. It's not what I want. That pregnancy scare is real. Listen to your gut, okay? Those beads of sweat are real. All right, you're feeling it for a reason. Dude, someone is
prophesying Trump right now.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
But yeah, so it's been.
That's really cool.
Been a good week. Just getting ready for the baby. Have our baby shower tomorrow.
Let's go.
So just old man things, I today I went to. I was going to Little Caesars for dinner.
Classy.
Things aren't going well financially. Pray for us, guys.
Yeah, just hey guys, if you want to send a donation in,
We really need to start that Patreon.
just throw that Square Cash in there. Hey, you just shamelessly plug your Square Cash right now.
Well, I will say, here's the thing. I love, there's other pizza that's better out there for sure. And I for years, hadn't eaten Little Caesars pizza. But one day I was craving cheese stuffed crust pizza. And I used to get it from Pizza Hut, and there's no more Pizza Hut in Reading. Like, all three of them closed.
What?
Yeah, there's no more Pizza Hut. Try to get Pizza Hut. You can't.
I did not know that.
So, so I just Google searched stuffed crust pizza in Reading one day out of desperation, and Little Caesars came up. I was like, oh, they have a stuffed. I'm like, I'm sure it'll be ass, but I'll eat it.
Yeah, oh,
Not what I meant.
But is it a
I'll
little
eat
bit?
the
Is it a little bit
Ruh-roh.
what you meant though? No. He meant it a little bit, guys.
So, anyways,
Just a
back
little.
to Little Caesars.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be delicious.
Yeah.
So now we get it like once a month.
It was ass.
The way that was said.
Yeah. Yeah, ass, not the pizza.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
No, we so I went back to Little Caesars today, and last time I went, there was this lady outside, and when I walked out with my pizza, she was a homeless lady.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Can I have a piece of your pizza?" And I was caught between, like, I wanted to be compassionate.
Yeah.
Also did not want her, not in a weird way, dirty, grubby, filthy hands
Right, well,
in my pizza box. So
yeah,
I was like,
that's
how about
fair.
this?
You want to throw in a few more adjectives there?
Yeah, dirty, grubby, like dirt under the nails, scrapey. Yeah. Methamphetamine ridden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, how about I just buy you a pizza? They're $5.
That's the move.
So then I did. So then I went inside, bought her pizza.
Yeah.
Gave her, I was like, that was a good deed. Good job, Trey.
Yes.
Good job. So then today on my
And
way
then
to
she was
Little
like, I
Caesars-
still want a slice of your pizza, though.
So then on the way to Little Caesars today, I was like, because there's always, if you've never been to Reading, for the listener at home, there's always homeless strewn about our beautiful city of Reading, and they always hang out around.
They're so quirky.
That Cypress.
They're such a quirky group.
They are. They're an eclectic bunch.
Just wild.
And so I was like, if there's another homeless person outside of Little Caesars, I'm gonna buy them a pizza. I haven't tithed in a while.
I like this idea. Trey's starting a nonprofit and he doesn't even know it. Yeah. Slipping into it.
So then I walk up to Little Caesars. Sure enough, there's a homeless looking dude standing there, and I'm like, hey man, I'm about to go and get a pizza. Do you want one? And he's like, what? And I was like, do you want me to buy you a pizza? And he goes, I just bought one. I just ordered one. And then I was like, oh no, I don't think this guy's homeless. But I looked at him again. I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, he's probably homeless. He found $5.
But then he was like, thanks so much. The way he said that, it was like, yeah. But there was a moment for a second where I thought that there was just a random dude. I was like, you want me to buy you a pizza?
To be honest, if
This
I
was
was
on
that
me.
random dude, I'd be like, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dude, buy me that. Yeah, I will take an extra pizza.
I would definitely take that.
Absolutely. I don't care how homeless I look. Did I tell you the story? I don't know if I said this on the podcast. It's the story where I came out with all the podcast gear from that one episode, and then I saw a friend, and she's did I say that on the podcast?
Yeah.
No,
because
then I won't
she
bring it back.
assumed
You're
you were
gonna-
homeless.
She thought I was homeless. She's like, hey, she was like, I was about to pray for you. I was like, that is so funny. So guys, there could be a market for people to kind of dress homeless, even though you're not, and just see what happens.
Yeah.
You get free donuts.
Free stuff.
Just
you
stand
get.
there and be like,
Get some
"Man,
prayer.
sure
for
am,
fun.
sure am hungry.
If Trey's getting some Little Caesars, you're gonna get some pizza. It could be a wild experiment.
If Evan's got a pocket full of quarters, he'll buy you a gumball.
And I'll buy you a donut for 24 cents. We
We'll
know
buy
how
the
we
whole
roll
damn
here.
machine.
Yeah, get your whole damn machine, dude. We'll do it. Oh man.
You want a gumball? How about the whole thing?
I'll buy you the whole thing. You still have to pay 25 cents every time you want a gumball, but I'll buy you the. It's an investment. It'll return to you.
Did you guys ever have one of those piggy banks as a kid where you like put a coin in and dude, those were the shit. Dude.
Like a
Piggy
gumball?
banks, electric
A
piggy
gumball
banks, gumball
piggy
piggy
bank?
banks. So cool. So cool.
I mean, maybe like one of my rich friends had that. I mean, I don't have the luxuries that you guys had.
I just
I
told
wasn't
you
a
I'm
rich
eating Little
kid.
Caesars on a regular basis. All right. I don't come from money. But it sucked because we found out that like you could just unscrew the top and just go ham on as many gumballs as you wanted. So then it kind of took away the
it takes away the saving aspect
because you feel like you're earning it,
right. Yeah,
I will say,
with a piggy bank.
I like Little Caesars.
Okay,
I enjoy the pizza.
we should go sometime.
Cheese.
Split a stuffed crust.
It's kind of funny what people trash on because for no reason. And I'm like, Little Caesars is one of those little things. Just because they give you a good deal, you hate on them? Oh, F you, man. They're community served. Their breadsticks are so good.
They are so good.
I don't think they're I don't know the word.
You can
is.
feel them
Unrivaled.
clog your.
They're unparalleled.
Unparalleled. That's the term.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
Nah.
Well, hey, I
Little Caesars gives me the diarrhea.
Oh, and see, that's fair. That's fair. I guess
So
it's true. I
why-
didn't think
'cause,
about
yeah,
the
like-
after effects. That's fair.
Yeah, because we like flavor wise, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. Like especially for $5. But then afterwards, my butthole's like, oh, why did you do this?
Yeah, that will get you.
Wait, what is your butthole's voice
Yeah.
again?
Can you do
My
your
butthole's
butthole?
like, oh, why did you do this?
So what does your butthole sound like, Trey? If your butthole had a voice.
My butthole's like,
Oh
Seriously?
no!
I don't want a gay butthole.
I have a gay
I want a
butthole.
do-over. I want a do-over.
Oh no!
That's just-
you can't get a do-over. It's your first instinct, dude.
All right.
Oh
how
my
about
gosh.
this? How about this for a premise? My butthole, very gay. I
am
couldn't be
very
straighter. My sometimes I poop and I enjoy it too much.
No, that's what I'm saying. I was gonna say sometimes when you're in the shower and you're getting a good scrub.
Yeah. Oh.
Seems like it's like,
My butthole's like, you want it.
that sounds like the title of. That sounds like a title of like a Netflix special. My butthole's gay.
Yeah. My butthole's been out of the closet for years.
I haven't caught up yet.
I'm still so suppressed.
I am really not gonna
married
get
to a woman that I just
my butthole is gay.
if I waited until I was 40 to like start this whole hetero path, I don't know. I might have.
Who knows?
It might have caught up to me. The rest of my body might have.
That is such a funny.
That
is such a funny line.
Thinking about the impression of my butthole, I think it'd be much more exhausted.
For sure.
No,
dude.
it is. But the voice you did, it's exhausted and it's just so damn tired of these.
Yeah,
freaking.
I feel like it should have been more tired because it was like in that moment he was strenuous,
He's
but it should have been like
aggravated,
a life of strain.
Okay.
Where it's just like another one. Like I think that's more appropriate.
Right. He's working overtime.
He's
to be honest.
Yeah, he's never clocked out.
So Trey's is kind of on the femme
Yeah,
side.
bro. What's your BHV?
To be honest, I feel like my dude, I feel like my BHV is kind of like this. Hey guys.
What?
It's just casual.
Evan?
It's just casual. It's like it shows up every now and then. It's not very
Evan
punctual.
Jr.
Hey guys. Oh, I forgot to bring chips. Am I supposed to bring something?
Actually, I gotta go away for a second, and then I go away for a while. I feel like my butthole doesn't have like a British voice or anything fun. It's not like, oh, hey. It's not like, ooh, I've got to go sit down. It's like, it's pretty standard. Like it talks every now and then.
Yeah.
But not too frequent.
Yeah.
It does get passionate. Like, you know how when I get into a topic, I can just ramble? If I have cereal, that's it. That's my butthole being passionate.
Really?
It's like, oh,
Cereal.
you did something. And then it's going to go on to it. But yeah, I feel like it's...
That's cereal gives you diarrhea?
Oh, the milk does.
Oh. Because he said cereal.
It doesn't. Well, yeah, I guess
It's called lactose.
Yeah,
that's
true. Pretty misleading.
But I weirdly, like, it does. Ice cream does. I feel like ice cream doesn't do it. I swear it is just like when I have a bowl of cereal. Maybe it's because I have 5 at a time. Maybe that could be the culprit. I think it's because you can't have just one. You have to have 5. But I swear it's like just the raw milk will get you.
Dude, yeah, cereal is
Raw.
It's a cycle because you'll eat a bowl and then you run out of milk, so you got to pour more milk. Then you run out of cereal. Like,
You run out of milk. You wait.
Time
out. Can I time out? I'm so sorry to interrupt, but you run out of milk before you run out of cereal.
Yeah.
Are you drinking it?
No. Wait, hold on.
You said you run out of milk first. I'm like,
Which one do I run out
Trey
of
just gets it.
first?
He pours the cereal and then he just tilts it back to get that milk. Yeah, I was like, you run out of milk first in the scenario. Okay, so take it from the top.
Flicking the Cheerios.
Yeah,
off
just
my
like, okay, give me a milky milk. I don't know. So I pictured you. If the milk's running out first, that's what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm getting roasted.
Take from
tonight.
the top.
I run out of cereal first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'm like, well, I'm not going to waste this milk, so I'll pour more cereal. Because
That's it.
I'm not a slurp the milk out of the bowl kind of guy. I think that's freaking disgusting.
Really?
I think it's so gross. When
So-
I'm sitting
me
next
too,
to people
for sure.
and they're like, I want to end their life.
I will never eat cereal
or
next
my
to you.
own. and so I will pour more cereal because then I'm like, well, I'm not gonna waste this milk. Well, then I do get a little low on the milk to cereal ratio.
That's the order.
So then I pour more milk and then I need more cereal. So it's a whole thing.
So it's just never ending.
It's never
You
ending
think?
cereal.
Do you
I ate a
think-
whole box.
Do you think they know that?
Oh yeah,
They know that. They're that's
big
that's how they
cereal,
make their
bro.
money.
They actually
What's Big Cereal up to?
they purposely make their flakes with dehydrating properties, so
Get
it makes
out.
you thirsty for milk.
Oh, I believe that, dude. The thing is, if you said that without like a joke concept, I'd be like, no way. But
And then you tell someone else, this might be false.
guys, this could be.
It could be wrong.
I heard this could be fake. But Wheaties will suck
you're
you dry.
describing that-
Sorry, Mitch, go for it.
As you were describing that, I just picture like Trey like ODing on cereal. Like
Just cotton
like
mouth.
Gabby walking into the house and Trey's just on the floor with milk and cereal all over.
She's been watching me do it. I'm like,
I couldn't stop.
pass me that cereal box. She's like, babe, really? I'm like, give me the damn box. Like, you've had 3 bowls. Give me the box. So Tim's like, Daddy, why are you doing this? I'm like, shut up. I'm screwing the milk.
That is great.
Had a long day.
Cocoa
Puffs. What cereal though? What cereal you eating?
Well, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, CTC.
It starts off innocent, right? It starts off innocent. You start off with some Cheerios.
Yeah.
But you want to explore a little bit. You want to see what else the world has to offer. You start dabbling in Wheaties. Now, it is the breakfast of champions, but it's missing something. Let's try it. What if we did it frosted? Frosted Wheaties, frosted flakes. Your blood starts tasting that sugar. Oh. Uh-oh. Soon, next thing you know, you're OD'd on Reese's Puffs.
Ooh, with
And that peanut butter
or
chocolate flavor.
Cocoa Puffs with chocolate milk. Like you pour chocolate milk in the bowl.
Without even just so
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't go in white.
That's
you go
not
in with-
allowed.
Oh, it is.
I've never done
It
that.
is
Like with
orgasmic.
True Moo, or something.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
True.
Okay,
that's the only good
okay.
chocolate
I
milk.
go Nesquik, honestly.
Oh, Nesquik chocolate milk.
Oh, they
That's
make-
true. I
Evan,
said
as you were describing this, so do you literally eat 5 bowls of cereal in a morning?
I'm not. No.
Entire bowl
No.
of Cheerios.
No, that's not my
Okay.
morning routine. That's my nighttime routine. That's my nighttime watching a TV show routine. I would never do that in the morning, Mitch. Come on, who do you take me for? Yeah.
I love that you have this many boxes of cereal. For me, it's like I have one
Oh, I'm not
box
having
of cereal.
5 boxes. It's just one box, 5 bowls. One beef.
Everyone
5
knows there's 5 bowls in every box.
5 bowls in every box. Yep. Go for it, Mitch. What were you saying?
Well, so when you're talking about your cycle of cereal, that's in one night, or that's in like
Oh no,
a
that's
culmination of
that was
weeks?
Trey talking about that. But yeah, that is like, but yeah, that's my like the exact same. I'm like, oh yeah, it's like 3 or because it's like you do that little cycle and then you do. Well, I'm still hungry. I'll have one more.
Mitch is talking about you having different kinds in one sitting.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was just me
Yeah.
talking about the gateway to cereal. That's not real.
Oh.
Yeah, no. I'm dancing with one flavor for the time. I will.
That's what I. Okay.
Here's the deal.
That
There
makes a lot
is
more sense.
there is some science to this. You can't go from this is interesting. You can't go from like Captain Crunch to no. You can go from a Captain Crunch type of cereal, that kind of flavor, to a chocolate, but you can't go from a chocolate to a Captain Crunch. Does that make sense? So it's like if I'm eating Captain Crunch and I run low on milk, but my Captain Crunch has run dry, and I have Cocoa Puffs, I'll bounce over to Cocoa Puffs. Okay, actually, I'm lying. I will eat whatever cereal is there. But typically, if the option is if I have a chocolate cereal first, I have to stay on that chocolate train. I can't just jump over to a white milk creating like cereal.
Come on.
It's got to be a chocolate now. It's like it's the track I've chosen.
It's segregation.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, I think
Just keep the chocolate separated
as long
from the white milk.
is my white milk isn't touching my. Oh, I'm gonna go with this. Actually,
it.
how do you end racism? Cocoa Puffs, man. You put that white milk,
Cocoa
it'll be
Puffs.
brown before the end.
Yeah, and it creates something more beautiful than either one of those
Sorry,
things.
what's that, Dre?
No,
More beautiful.
Well, I was saying, its
Okay.
own flavor, its own wave of beautiful.
The one thing better than Cocoa Puffs, chocolate wise, is chocolate Rice Krispies. Like
I don't know if I've ever like the yeah. I had to think for a
Yeah.
second because my brain went to like the little Rice Krispie bars. I was like, they make chocolate Rice Krispie bars? No, but the
They do.
cereal. We're still on cereal. That makes sense to talk about that.
yeah.
Oh, the chocolate Rice Krispie cereal is
Delish.
so good because the way it can just clump up into one ball of whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Did you ever do that and put like chocolate chips in it?
That's a good idea.
Slaps.
That's a
You
good
need help,
idea.
Trey.
Does it kind of?
You need help.
I haven't done it recently. I did it in college.
Does it kind of melt into it a little bit, or
A
does it
little
kind
bit,
of
yeah.
harden
Well,
up?
you
From
get you get a bite where it's like one chip and then a bunch of Crispies, and then it's just it's like a
place it on-
little. You know the bottom of
I love
the
that idea.
drumsticks.
Yes,
The
yes,
ice
I
cream
do.
cones
I know
where
exactly
it's
what you're
like-
talking about.
So, and the bottom part of that cone is
Oh.
crispy and it's rich chocolate with a little bit of cream that drizzled down. That's what you're creating with chocolate Rice Krispies with chocolate chips on top.
I'm
and the milk.
sold. I'm
sold.
I've never wanted to go to a grocery store so fast.
It is not
Invest.
nutritious.
Oh,
You'll
no.
get zero nutrition
well,
value.
that's not what it's for. It's for enjoyment.
You get maybe calcium. I don't know.
Do you ever feel bad for
You,
okay?
You've seen our bodies. We're not looking
Yeah,
for
we're not
nutrition
here for
over
this.
here.
Here's a question.
Hey, I had a salad today, Mitch.
What was
Fuck
your
you?
What was your?
I intentionally had
I
a
am-
salad, so
I
I didn't have to
earned
take
this
shit like
comment.
that from you anymore.
Was that in between your stuffed crust Little Caesars?
Yes, it was right before I had stuffed crust.
How much ranch was on that salad tray? How much blue cheese?
Does it count if it was Chipotle ranch? That's the healthy stuff, right?
That was good. That was good for you. I was gonna say like we were as a family. Like my parents were pretty lenient. Like we wouldn't. Like it would be every now and then, but like they wouldn't be like, no, there's no such thing as sugar cereal in our home. Like we don't do that. You know, they like, yeah, we'll have a box every now and then.
Right.
But
You
I
think-
I always
were your
felt
parents Adam Sandler.
Yeah, we will not do that. Well, no, my parents weren't. No, I'm saying my parents weren't. Mitch, listen next time I talk. No, I'm kidding. That's so mean. No, but I always felt bad. You knew when your friends were so deprived of that stuff when they came over to your house and they like look and they opened the cereal. We had a cereal drawer. Like in our house, there was one giant square drawer that you opened up and it was all the cereal. And it was just, they were a kid in a candy store. And I'm like, man, you're so deprived of joy in your household. Have some honeycombs. Get in there, buddy. We have a lot of milk.
Oh, honeycomb was like the sweetest cereal we were allowed to have most of the time.
Yeah.
And so I would just eat it and read the back of the box. They had a good back of the box, though.
Oh, that's a good question. What
Yeah.
cereal brand has the best back of the box?
Honeycomb, back of the day. I've been out of the cereal game for a while. And the reading the back of the box game.
It's all bags these days.
Well, now you just
It's all
scroll your
bags
phone
these days.
and you eat, yeah.
That's right.
Special K or whatever.
Okay,
Yeah, I feel like I touched boobs before both of you. I have
absolutely.
You never read the back of the box?
Guys,
not really. I'm busy. I'm busy living life, guys.
I have such a
I'm
good...
out exploring.
You don't
I'm out
read it
playing
like
Lego
on the
Star
couch.
Wars.
Yeah, it's not like
You're
you're
not-
taking
it's
it to the
like-
library.
It's like your friends
while
are out
you're
playing
eating
baseball.
cereal. Yeah,
It's like, hold on, guys, I gotta finish the back of this box.
I'd love to. But just this really easy maze needs to be solved first.
I would love to go to prom, Becky, but I got a box of honeycomb.
I need to know which tree looks different, okay, from the other ones. I gotta solve this.
There are 6 differences between picture 1 and picture 2,
I'm
and I gotta find
swamped.
them out.
Okay.
If you solved the crossword puzzle and then you mailed it to them with the UPC on the back and you did that 5 times,
Yeah.
you'd get a shirt.
Come on, Mitch. Where were you, dude?
That's a lot of effort.
One of the coolest ones I'd ever seen was, ironically, not my favorite cereal. Love it, but Honey Grams had that one where if you stared at it just a certain way, a picture would pop out. And I think
On the back
I
of the
could be wrong, but I think it was a skateboarder. It was a skateboarder who popped out in 3D. So you know the iMagic games, that you pull it away from, you kind of go cross-eyed and you pull it away from you.
Yeah,
Honey
yeah.
Grams
You
did
always
one
have
of
to, like-
Honey Grams did one on the back of it, and if my memory is recollecting correctly, it was a skateboarder.
Honey Graham's secret mascot
Was a
is
skateboarder. I don't think it was a secret mascot. I was just like, oh, dude, check this out. The kids are gonna love this. This skateboarder.
Like on every box?
Well, it was just like it was a big giant Honey Gram that had an iMagic game on it.
Oh.
And when you did the cross-eyed thing and you pull it away far, and you pull it away slow, a skateboarder would appear.
It's Golden Grams.
It
Skateboarder.
was
Just fact check
what
me.
did I say? Did I say Honey Grams?
Yeah.
That might be the off-brand.
I think
bag
there's
name.
both. I think there is a...
Golden Grams
Honey
is
Grams.
the name of the overall. Golden Grams is
I
correct.
wouldn't
That's
doubt
what
it.
we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
But I think Honey Grams is like the fake off-brand like giant bag. I could be wrong.
Were you
But
guys
yeah, you're
a
right.
generic cereal family?
We sometimes, I would say sometimes, but we also like we loved those the mateys or like like the
Yeah, we got the
marshmallow
old
mateys because to be honest those bags were massive and they were the exact same flavor,
Which is
like,
what you need when you have a million siblings. You need the
Exactly.
big bag.
Yeah.
We
Big
get
bag.
the amount of anxiety
yeah.
that I would have when my mom would bring home one skimpy ass box of name brand Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
It's not enough.
Oh,
It's not-
it's gone.
And then literally, Bryant and I were just like in such competition. He'd be like, "Hey mom, can I have a snack?" She'd be like, "Sure." And then I would follow him into the kitchen, and he would open the cereal. I'm like, that's for tomorrow. That's for tomorrow. That's for the morning. But he would do it to me too. It wasn't just me.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah, because it's like, and then you had to like be the first one to wake up and pour just a big ass bowl. Because you could only have one bowl.
yeah.
They'd say one bowl, and so then you're like
Really stacking it in there.
Yeah,
Like Mongolian barbecue kind of thing situation there.
Exactly.
Like one large bowl. I just get it in there. Oh, that's great. Dude, but this could be a beating a dead horse, and maybe I missed the time to talk about it. But an app idea, along with candy cups, but an app idea that you scroll pictures, but it's just the back of all the cereal boxes for generations
that have ever existed.
I mean, tons of, because they change them like probably once a year. But that would be like just like for entertainment, kind of like a Pinterest. You just swipe up and it's like,
sure.
Okay, I'm looking at a Cinnamon Toast Crunch box back. I don't know. Could be something.
So you want to read the back of a cereal box, but on your phone.
On your phone. That's what, when you said when you said the line,
not
like,
investing.
Shark Tanks, but like when you said like, yeah, now we're just on our phones. Like, but how great would it be if you could look at cereal boxes on your phone?
I think it should be an app that just gives you one every morning. Because like that's how it was in childhood. You get one. Deal with it. You don't get to scroll.
Oh yeah. So we're kind of that's kind of cool.
What's with this scrolling?
But then it's just like Cheerios, and it's just a paragraph about heart health.
Yeah.
You're like,
good for your
God!
cholesterol.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this one. This one's boring. I'm still gonna read it, but it's boring. I'm still gonna look at it for the entire time I'm eating, but it's stupid. That's what you did. Started reading nutrition facts.
It's because I don't have Minecraft yet.
It's not invented.
Well, have we talked enough about cereal?
I think
I could do another
think
10
so.
minutes.
I like it. It's a good topic. There's a lot of rabbit holes to go down.
I at least got another 15.
Yeah,
Speaking of rabbit holes, how about tricks? Are they really for kids? Kidding.
Okay. Before we go into stuff, there's a theory that when we were kids, tricks were all these different shapes, like flowers, bananas, apples, and now they're just circles. And so they're like, maybe they really were just for kids.
And
we can't see the flower shapes anymore because we're grown-ups.
Mitch, I've got great news for you. They've gone back. They've reverted. Because it was like, okay, this is bull. I mean, like the whole part of it, if you're going to own the mold of a banana, stick to it. Like, come on, that's such cheap. Like, how can we save money? Get rid of the shapes. Balls. That was a new
Make
CEO.
the nutritionless balls.
I want balls. They're working for Captain Crunch. They're going to work for us. It's like he's like, and then somebody in the company's like, the whole magic of tricks was in the shapes.
As they were dying.
The story, and then somebody rises back to the CEO and like, we're bringing it back.
We're bringing back the shapes.
We're bringing back the shapes.
Hey, what about
our dividends are crashing. We're making no money, but bringing back the shapes. I mean, that's true. It's a lot of molds. You think about it, like if from as far as I understand the man who was just like, why aren't they just a bunch of balls? It goes in their mouth anyway. But I mean, you got a lot of molds. It's a lot of molds to pour some flour into and then converge them into a single bag. It's a lot of work.
Your knowledge of making cereal is.
I've watched a lot of How It's Made.
How It's Made.
Yeah.
Great show, man.
Gives you a lot of gratitude for how the world works.
Fantastic show. Mm-hmm. You see how a gobstopper is made? Your life has changed.
I actually randomly do think I saw a documentary on that.
A documentary?
Well,
a 5-parter.
A limited series.
That was HBO's wild.
HBO limited series.
The amount of deaths involved with that invention.
They got Obama to narrate.
Yeah. I wish I could do Obama. I was going to, out of nowhere, I was going to try to do Obama.
I was going to try too.
I wish I
can't
do
Obama.
Yeah. Mine's not good enough to try.
You got to do like a,
Well, I did not even going to even, I don't even know.
Yeah, Trey, you're the only one who's allowed to do it.
Yeah, Trey, I think
that's not true. You can do black impressions. You did a Chris Rock one, Mitch.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. And you did it well.
It was tasteful. It was tasteful.
Tasteful, Chris. You guys want to run through some?
Yeah, I think we've gone down our rants for a while. I think let's go into some jokes.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Who's going first? I see Trey with the
I've got the iPad because my phone's being used to record, and so I don't know how to do this in a way that's not cumbersome. But here we go. Here's a try.
Get her done.
Get her done.
Okay. Some of these are so dumb, I'm actually not even going to say them. So,
such a flirt.
I know. So there's this bit that I've been wanting to do for a long time. If I have already brought this up to you guys, stop me in my tracks.
Okay.
But
We will.
I don't think I have. have I talked to you guys about the gang group text?
Stop.
I have.
No, I don't think
I was
you
gonna
got
say, I was gonna say, Mitch, I was like, really? I was like, I need to.
The premise is that like like gangs they have to communicate, and so I'm sure that these days like there's a gang group text, like they have group text
for sure.
And so essentially the act out is like when they're organizing a crime, like a drive-by shooting or something, and they're talking about like whose car are we gonna take?
Yeah.
And then it's just a bunch of like, we should take Devin's. He's like, no, we always take mine. He's like, well, because you have the most seats, Devin. He's like, why am I being punished for having the biggest? Because I have a Suburban. And then they're talking about like what music they're gonna play. And then they get an argument. So I have a write out somewhere about that.
I love that idea.
But,
yeah, that's pretty funny.
But I just wanted to get your guys' ideas. It's really half baked. But
first thing that comes to mind is like he wants gas money. Like he's like, like fine, I'll do it, but y'all bitches better pay some gas money.
That is a perfect gangster impression.
Y'all bitches.
Y'all
Yeah.
bitches.
Well, I think there's like the joke is like the fact that even the joke in itself is like you're making them human.
Definitely.
You're making them human.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, guys, if you would pitch in with gas money,
Yeah.
I would love to drive you.
100%.
But
Yeah, I Cash App requested all of you, and none of you responded.
Yeah.
And I'm drawing
Yeah.
boundaries for myself, guys. I've been taking a class. I've been working on myself. We are not going to do a drive-by shooting unless you pay me back for last week's gas. They're like, bro, we're about to go make $5,000. He's like, I don't care.
well,
Okay.
I want to see some. I want to see.
It's
some
not
of
about
that.
the money, guys.
Yeah.
It's not about the money.
Do we do this for money, or do we do this because we love this?
It's the principle.
Yeah, yeah. He gets just really indignant about one like character thing. That's great.
And then yeah, you just like bring it back to the fact that of what they're doing, yeah, like so if we all want to kill Ombre from the Crips, yeah, you should Venmo me $7.59.
If you bring in like the aspects of a group text message too, where it's like, for example, I'm a great example of group message. I joined in so late. Like I'll be like, hey, sorry guys, I was, if you bring in the hey, sorry guy,
Hey, sorry guys, what are we doing?
hey, sorry guys, what's going on? So if you kind of have that different characters of a thread, like the person who only sends gifs, and it's just like gifs of a drive-by. It's like I'm all excited.
They and now that there's only a water gun emoji.
Yeah,
Actually, I don't even think they have the water gun anymore. I think that got axed in the
really?
last.
That's too violent.
Yeah. The regular gun was too violent, so then they just did a water gun. But at the time I wrote the first version of this joke, it was like water gun emojis coming up on the screen. And then the other thing, the other idea I had was all their names being like super white names. They're like their names like Jim and like Paul. And so when they say names, it kind of adds another layer of like,
Jim.
yeah, it's almost funny because like there's gonna be some guy there's like, oh, I don't know any gangsters named Jim. My name's Jim, like like just like to antagonize that.
I'm thinking of something specific from like group texts or just text in general that I think could be funny is like when you see someone that has liked your text as opposed to loving your text and how like someone could be like, like just their feelings are hurt that their text wasn't loved. It was liked.
Yeah. Dude, I actually made a video about that a few years ago. About Facebook. It wasn't the text thread because it was before you could do it in text. But on Facebook, when they first rolled out the heart thing, and then the video was just a guy who's confronting a friend for liking something instead of hearting it. He's like, everyone else hearted it. I'm just wondering what I did to offend you. I'm wondering why you hate me.
He's like, no, I liked it.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
No, I liked it.
But you could have loved it.
Well, you could have loved
it. It was really easy just to scroll over a little more and just love it.
So something else talking about like the liking it and like thumbs upping it. I always do the exclamation point, but you could be like, what does that even mean? Like, are they really happy? Are they really mad about it?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that exclamation point entails.
Oh, that's great. I think if you could talk, because group chats are always like with work stuff, and so if you kind of like with the gang, if you think of like the gang as a work activity.
Oh, one of them says like circle back or something.
Yes, like just something like.
Oh my goodness!
Actually, this Thursday doesn't really work for me. If we could do like, he's not going to be home next Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, I can't.
It's a long weekend. It's Labor Day.
It's my kid's birthday.
We got to do it on Tuesday.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should bring about someone's birthday, like a work birthday party or something.
It's like, wait, whose birthday? Well, John, isn't John who we're shooting? Oh my God! There's just a way that you could like. And for some reason on stage, like I don't know if this is something you do, if it's more of like talking, but if you were like whoop whoop, if you had the kind of the sound of like whoop, whoop.
I like how we're suggesting GIFs, and
I know.
like how are you gonna act out a GIF?
Well, you could just do it. Yeah, that's just true. It's a funny idea. It's a really funny idea. It almost be funny
that
to
sounds like a James Acaster bit from what you were talking about.
Yeah,
The way I was saying it.
Well, no, I just the idea of like because he would do something like that like on the screen,
Oh yeah.
and like
actually
have
use,
the GIF.
actually use something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, Michael McIntyre a little bit. He has kind of that kind of fun stuff on his show.
I don't think I'll ever do that. I
Yeah,
don't think I'll ever be a multimedia guy. When
that
it
would
comes
be,
to,
and that's kind of more like a TV. That's not necessarily stand up. That's more like
yeah.
a comedy show can have those elements. Like if it's like a variety show type thing. But yeah, for as far as I guess stand up set, Dimitri Martin does stuff that's very much in his vein, and he's decided to own it, and it's really funny, like the graphs.
Yeah.
I do find it's a really cool way that he can get his genius across. But it's like if it's not something that's going to be commonly in your set, it would be weird to throw in there. But the concept is freaking funny.
Yeah, I'm excited about the premise. But but those are great thoughts. So thanks.
That's awesome.
I love the
Really
Cash
good
App
idea.
thing, the the making it work related. That's great.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you do with that.
Yeah, I've been sitting on that for actually a couple years. I completely forgot about it. And I was looking through my notes today. I was like, oh yeah, this is one that I really wanted to. I was gonna try to work out a little bit before our last show, and then I realized that I had so much other stuff to work out first. But
a line that comes to mind that could be like, if you're just, when you're introducing the premise to the crowd, like, gangs have to have group texts, and like people are kind of getting onto that. It's like, it's got to be a little bit more intense when someone is kicked, like, leaves the group chat. It's like, that he's not just left the group chat, he's dead. Like, just something along the lines of, like, he's been removed. It's like, ooh. Like I just picture, like, if Mafia, if you choose Mafia or two, Mafia could be a fun thing, too, because it's like, you offended me, you're gone. Like, you're done. And so it's just like, them, like, as it does that, it says, has left the group chat, and be like,
that's actually not a bad, like, I think Mafia could be a fun,
yeah, I was thinking that too. Mafia could be a more fun twist on that.
Yeah. I
do like drive by.
Yeah, there's good things you can do with both of them.
But this is what I do like about Mafia, is that they do say a lot of things that are like double meanings. Like, I need you to, make him sleep with the fishes. I need you to, like,
fish emojis.
Take the whatever it is, like some Godfather. Yeah, so there's some fun things you can do with like saying it, and the guy's like, okay, I'm at the restaurant right now. Where do you want me to do? It's like, no, I didn't mean actually grab the cannoli. I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's the Godfather reference. The Godfather? Oh my God. And then the thread starts roasting on him that he hasn't watched The Godfather.
Yeah.
Because that's what always happens in a group thread. It's like there's a mission at hand, and then a sidebar conversation happens, and that becomes the main focus.
Yes.
Like, guys, we need to get back to...
And they're like, you've never watched The Godfather?
How can you be a
with
part?
you?
You're in the Mafia. Yeah, like, it just like, it's like, guys, I just haven't got around to it, okay?
Yeah, I think that's great, actually.
Has been removed from the... Ugh.
I love that, actually.
So,
because I think that if I can do an accent, my best accent is actually Italian.
Oh, that's great.
So that could be a
perfect
fun way to go about it.
I really like the premise.
Do you guys know who Gary Goldman is?
I'm
Mitch, I showed
gonna
you
Google
this
him
bit.
Just to know.
It's Gary Goldman. He does this bit on the committee that was tasked with abbreviating all the states to 2 letters.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
that is such a funny bit,
dude.
Oh, that is so good.
It's like 8
Yeah.
minutes long, and he just talks about the whole the committee, and he does he goes on these tangents.
Oh, it's so good.
That's like he's like, if we finish this by 9, I'll buy you guys all breakfast, and they're like, I have to buy me a martini too, and like, oh, Connie. It's like this. It's so funny.
It is great.
But I love stuff like that where it's like, what you said, task at hand, but then it gets distracted, and then you can go so far off that then when you bring the audience back to the premise, it gets a big laugh because like, oh yeah, you're still talking about
They forgot what the initial launch pad was.
Yeah, I like that idea. I might write it as a Mafia bit, see how it feels on paper.
Kind of go down that track. I mean, that's what a lot of comics do. They'll set up this thing like, I have a joke to tell you, and then like blah 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 blah. They'll trail off the entire time, and you kind of forget what you're listening to.
It could be fun to
That's
juxtapose. Like, I watched Tony Soprano. I watched The Sopranos.
Yep.
And because that's true, I have been watching it, and I was just filled like, man, I want to join the mafia. But then being like, but I bet the mafia is really lame now. Like, I bet it's not as cool as it was in the 90s.
Right.
Like, I bet now they do most things via group text.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have the cool meetups over the pool table. Yeah.
On
and then
Zoom.
And then it's just, you just go straight into a Zoom meetings.
A Zoom mafia meeting.
That could be pretty funny because that's like someone's got bad internet connection.
Yeah.
What's that?
Tony, what are you saying? What are you saying, Tony? He's like,
Nah, I'm trying to say.
whacked. Who got whacked? Who got whacked, Tony? Everyone's named Tony.
Yeah.
I just named 4 different guys Tony.
Change your name. Change your name. You can change it. Press the button. No, change your name. You're showing up as your daughter. You're showing up as your daughter right now. Well, I'm on my daughter's thing. I'm using my daughter's computer. Well, change it. This is very throwing me off. It's throwing me off. I can't have a meeting.
I see Connie, but I know you're Donnie. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
I need you to change it. A mafia Zoom meeting.
That's great. It's a twofer.
This is
Wow.
what we do. This is what we do.
I got my money.
I feel like that'd be a good sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's more of a.
That'd be tough to do.
That would be really hard to
on
especially,
stage.
I'm not very physical. I'm not going to be jumping around stage in 5
different squares.
Yeah.
But I do want to joke. I have been thinking about this. I want a joke that does let me get really into character and just go 100 miles an hour with it. Like,
Yeah,
So
it's really fun.
One thing I really love about, and you guys do this a lot with a lot of your jokes, which I really admire, especially when you were doing your. I mean, a lot of the jokes you do, Evan, like your NASCAR jokes.
I mostly try to find that
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of vein and stick. Yeah, I try to do that.
Which I love that. And that's not my default energy, but there are certainly things that I do love to get worked up, and I love to get like fake worked
Yeah.
up about something,
Yeah.
you know? And so I think it would be so I like my my extra cruelty egg joke because there's this thing where I get to act out being a chicken.
Yes.
And then and so I'm like, I do want another joke like that where I am just like really living it up and just going ham for like 5 to 10 minutes. And so I actually do think the mafia thing could be mafia group text could be
that's
one of those
great.
things where
That could be it.
I'll play with it. Yeah, we got open mic next Wednesday.
Yep.
We got to go.
we have to
I have not gone. I hope it still exists.
I know. Well, I had like one.
You know,
and not to
oh
be-
shoot, if we don't
like-
go, it probably won't happen.
I know, and not even like in a cocky way, but it's like we are half of the comedians that were showing.
Yeah,
up.
I'm like just like, hopefully some people are
It's
showing
just
up.
the cook. The
Yeah,
fry
not
cook,
literally
holding
not
it
in a way.
down.
Just like we should probably make sure that continues.
Scott just going, what else?
What else?
Did I already tell you about the time I screwed my plant? Like, yeah, you talked about.
Yeah,
it.
we've heard it.
Great joke, by the way, Scott. If you're listening.
Very dry.
Everyone else though, like the patrons, like this old mic's great. It's only 15 minutes long now. I remember it used to be an hour.
Dude, it used to be a lot longer. Something happened.
Yeah, thanks guys. That's awesome.
I really
feedback.
love that.
I'm really excited about it.
That's great.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
that's
go
great.
Write that this week.
Mitch, what do you got?
Can
I
I pause
only
you real
have
quick?
one
I
bit.
just want to get one more drink, if that's okay. I just want to get.
Oh,
a quick
get in
drink.
there. Yeah, go
Evan, do
ahead.
you
Okay,
want
go
a
for it.
refill?
I have to
Pause.
drive after this. I would love a refill, but
Oh, you're already feeling close.
I'm a lightweight at heart. So I'm in a
Little
refrain.
lightweight.
It was delicious though, Trey. That was so good, man. That was delicious. It was really good.
Pretty sure I'm also a lightweight, but I never drink enough to find out.
It's like I beer and hard liquors hit me different than beer. I can drink like 2 beers and not feel a thing, and then if I drink like a shot of whiskey, it's like, yep, I feel it.
Oh, it's there.
It's there.
Well, like what we did before the Reading shows.
Oh, that was, dude, the first night when I took, I think I ended up like finishing it, was it half of someone's shot? I had my shot, which was like essentially a double. And
I think it was a
half,
bit of mine, maybe.
and then I think I had the rest of Trey's because he had a lot. And then I literally, before I was on stage, I was slapping my face. I was like, oh my gosh, oh no, like, because I hadn't eaten anything. So I was slapping my face, and I was like, okay. But I actually love the that sounds so bad, but I love just that little edge just taken off. Just little, not like, I don't want to be drunk on stage. That's not something I want to be.
yeah.
But just that little edge. And this is actually really interesting because, and I don't know if we're still on air for the podcast, but when I was in Second City, they talked about how when they do shows, like they actually have a strict rule of no alcohol before a show. They don't want any of their actors drunk. And I was like, that's actually fascinating, considering that Chris Farley was, doing screwballs at the end of his
Well,
life.
that's probably why.
Yeah,
They
but-
probably overcorrected.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like, I was like, oh, even before like I'd go sing, like I just want I mean, that sounds, man, this is maybe something I should correct, but I'm like, just one shot of Jameson, just one little thing. Like, not like, I don't want to get belligerent. I don't want to get drunk. I just like, one shot of Jameson can kind of get you to what a glass of wine will do for me. Like, just one glass of wine will get to me to be like, oh, I'm just comfortable now. It's not like, but then again, it's also not great to be dependent on alcohol. And I'm not saying I couldn't do a stand-up set or a show without having it, but it's just like, yeah, it's like, let's just get a little bit loose. Just like, so that place where you're not thinking so much about yourself. You're just more like, let's just think about it sounds funny, but it's like, okay, I'm going to be actually more focused on the material than the thing. That sounds, this is like such an alcoholic, like defense. Like, no, I need it. Yeah, no, I don't need it. Actually, but it is just kind of like a good way to get on stage. I don't know.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I'm like, I love my favorite thing before getting on stage is a beer. Or like a beer and a half.
Yeah,
like, that's
exactly.
my favorite thing. But I wonder, I think about that sometimes. I'm like, do I like feel like I need it?
Like compensate, yeah.
But it really is just, it does kind of just relax you a little bit. I mean, I do, and so what I have been doing is like I'll go every other, like completely dry, having nothing. And then like the next open mic, I'll be like, I'll have a beer or two before I get on stage.
And I've had shows where, I've absolutely had, most shows I've had nothing before. There are some shows I wish I would have had something before. But no, it's just like it's now, if you're a struggling alcoholic, don't do this. Like, just, it's not, that drinking is not something that I would say I is even remotely close to a problem. So, but it is kind of fun just to be like, all right, here we go. We're feeling good. We're about to have a fun night.
Well, it kind of adds to the fun as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of makes it more of an event. Like, oh, I'm having a shot.
Especially again, when we did our show, we like had a everybody takes a shot together.
Mitch drank alcohol.
He
drank
awesome.
A shot or half shot.
It's just kind of like, it can be a bonding thing. I mean, maybe it shouldn't be. I don't know, but
no, it was bonding. But the second night I felt it.
Oh, you did?
Because the first night I just felt warm, but the second night I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, am I going to forget all my stuff?
Those, I mean, but it's kind of cool. Like when you get on the stage, it's pretty awesome. When you get into that mode, it's pretty fun, pretty addicting. Actually, honestly. So
sorry, Mitch, I interrupted you.
Yeah, Mitch, do you have any jokes?
Yeah, I just brought one. It's an older premise that I haven't really included in anything except for one time in Reading with you guys when I was doing stand up in front of my grandma, and I was talking about how my grandma like always feeds you. Just like whoever. And I think my premise was like, I'm skinny, so I always look hungry in her eyes, or it was something like that. But I think I'd want to start it with, like grandmas are from a different generation. Like they don't understand that no means no. Like when you say no to food, they just keep shoving it down your face. They're like, Mitchie, do you want a little lasagna? Like, nah, Grams, I'm good. She's like, all right, then I'll make you a sandwich. Like, no, Grams, you don't understand. I'm full. She's like, all right, then I'll make you a bowl of cereal. Like, no, Grams, I'm really full. She's like, but I made you an apple pie. Well, I'll have a slice of apple pie. She's like, only if you have the lasagna first. And like I feel like that's just like it's like a cute little act out, and like it brought some energy that night I did it. And I was like, maybe there's something there, and like, but I like the beginning of like they don't know that no means no or whatever. Like it's
I love that line. How I would do it but this is how I would do it. This might not fit how you do it, but I would do the act out, and then kind of the punchline would be, have you ever had to say no means no to your grandma? Like I would kind of make that, or the tag, not the punchline.
Yeah.
But they're laughing because of all the act out, and then the fact that you have to explain to them that you're drawing a firm boundary,
and they still don't get it even after you say no.
I
got
grandma. And then she was like, well, you were asking for it. Your body was asking for it.
Yeah, that's great, especially since you mentioned how skinny you are.
Right.
Well,
I can tell by the way you were dressed.
I can tell by the way you look. You wanted
this.
You want this piece of lasagna. Open your mouth, Mitch. I'm going to put this piece of lasagna in your mouth. Don't fight it. Open your mouth.
Yeah, grandmas. What do grandmas and frat bros have in common, or something like that?
There you go. That's great. It's edgy.
Frat bros. It's a little edgy for me, guys.
I like it. Yeah, very relatable.
I love that. Yeah,
I feel like all grandmas do that.
Every grandma, because they find joy in. It's grandmas love to mean, you're not seeing your grandkids every day. So it's like they want to give. They want to love you. They want to do something for you. And like so food is often how they do it. So it's actually very endearing. But everybody's been in that situation where like, no, Grandma, I'm good. Like, all right, well, I got you this. Or they'll give you their old stuff. Dude, Michael Davis has the funniest grandma story. I shouldn't even tell it because it's his story. But it made me laugh so hard. He went to his grandma's house, and his grandma is like young. Like in her, I think he went to her house when she's in her 70s. So she's not like over the hill. And she's like, Michael, I want you. Michael, if you're listening to this, which you're probably not, but this is the funniest story ever, and I love you. But he said that his grandma was like, hey, Michael, like whatever you want, just she came with a pencil and a sticky notes and said, hey, whatever you want in my house, just write your name on it and put your name on it for when I go, and you can have it. And he's like,
before she dies?
Yeah, he's like, before she dies. And she's like, Grandma, you're not gonna die anytime soon. He's like, I'm not gonna do this. No, there's no way. Like, I'm not doing that. That's awful. Like, you have a lot of life left ahead of you. He said that he picks up a book and he's reading through it, and then he opens it up to a page, and there's a sticky note with his cousin's name on it. Oh, it's such a funny. Like, dude, honestly, I would love to see Michael do more stand up too. Like,
where is he these days?
He's in LA. He's doing great, dude. He is the most go-gettingest kid I've ever met in my life. But he did one stand-up set that it was really great for what, like it was awesome. Yeah. But that kid has got more, so he's 20, he's the same age as me, 25. He's got more life experience. Like the thing is, like I always say, like, oh, maybe I'll start really getting into stand-up when I'm like 40, when I have life experience. Michael Davis has more life experience than anybody his age. I just hands down with the things he's done. Michael, shout out for you, dude. Go do some more stand-up.
We miss you, bro.
We love you, man. Anyway,
Does he still have long hair?
No, he cut it. And he looks good. He looks like Shawn Mendes. Yeah, straight up. Yeah.
Love that.
He's good looking. He looked good with long hair, but awesome. Anyway, sorry, that was such a deviation, but that just like the idea of, but grandmas are
but back to your grandma stories, Mitch, for sure.
But grandmas are so funny, dude.
I to the second best grandma story on the podcast today.
No, but grandmas, they're so sweet what they do, because they want to give. They want to love.
Yeah. And I feel like there's something I could add about that, but yeah, I mean, it was just a simple bit. And like, I also worked on the old people argument bit, whereas, how couples have to argue over everything.
Right.
Cause I'm still trying to get it right. Like, I'm trying to get the characters right. And I tried to incorporate the thing that you guys were talking about of like, well, in the end, the wife should like come back with all the facts of like how she knows everything. And I guess I'll just try it, because that's what this whole podcast is about. I always forget
that's why we're here.
So I'll just try the act out where it's like, talk to like, I think I'd do it like something after talking about my wife and I'd be like, yeah, I'm glad my wife and I are married. We're still happy in our marriage. Like, we're not at the point where we have to argue over every single detail of a story. I don't know if you've met those couples, but you'll talk to them and you'll be like, hey, how you doing? How was your anniversary? Be like, it was good. I also changed his voice to be a little older.
Yeah.
It was good. We spent a week at the beach. We went fishing. What day we go fishing? Wednesday? No, it's Thursday. We went fishing Thursday. What time we go fishing? 1 o'clock? No, it's 2 o'clock. And how many fish we catch? I always mess up this part. How many fish we catch? 4. No, we retained 3. We caught 4 or whatever. I always fuck up that. But and then the wife comes in and she's like, no. I remember it was a Wednesday because that was the day I started my menopause. And I remember it was 1 o'clock. So I was looking at my watch and my watch was broken. It said 1 o'clock, a broken watch. And I said, well, I wonder what time it actually is. And I saw a clock and I realized it was actually 1 o'clock. And then I remember the story of how a broken watch is right twice a day. And I remember we did catch 4 fish because you tried to throw 1 fish in the ocean. The wind blew it back in your face and slapped you. And I thought, man, I wish I could be that fish right now. Well, it doesn't matter, but we had a great
man. Why do you care so much? That's great, because I think it hits.
Why do you care? So much? That's a great.
Why do you care so much? That's terrible, Mitch. The pacing of that feels really good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, well,
That's-
You've definitely got
like,
the cadence of the joke down.
yeah, that feels good.
Yeah, originally like it was too long. Where the husband would be like, no,
Right.
and it just being like, oh, like quicker and
Because
snappier
people get
like
it
that.
after
Definitely.
like the first example you get, people get it. They understand
Yeah.
what the premise is.
Mhm.
They understand where you're going with it. So then,
That's cool.
in my opinion, then everything she says should be just like really funny. Like I loved how you did I remember the story of a broken clock's right twice a day. And then you said, boy, I wish I could be that fish. And
Yeah.
like, that's so great. So if
That's
if you
awesome.
can make all those things just really punchy and get a laugh out of all those, I think that's great.
Yeah, like I feel like the first one, the menopause one, I'm like, well, that's I mean it's true for
It would
some-
make you remember for sure. Like you, I know
yeah,
it was
I
Wednesday.
I guess that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I think
Like,
that's
you remember the day,
and he's after all these years of marriage, still like, like he doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that got me because it's funny. It's like subconscious, but it is funny. It's like, no, that was the day I started menopause because
So
he
you
didn't.
can't argue with that.
Because you and he didn't get any or something like, that he want it's something happened. Like there's a lot of like double meaning in that. It's like, oh, that was the day I started menopausing.
It's funny for her to
forget.
start with something that's like he can't argue with and that she would definitely remember, but then she continues to give examples that just pour salt in the wound. And then so, like,
It's just, wait, how do you mean?
so you said, because I started my menopause, and he's like, and it's like she could have won there, but then she continues to go on with, and then I looked at my watch and it was right, broken watch is right twice a day, and then she could say, maybe she insults him, like, and then I looked at your shirt, and I remember thinking that shirt sure is ugly. I wish I never bought it for him. I wish I told him the truth when I asked if it makes him look fat, because it does make him look fat.
Because it
And
does
then-
make you look fat.
yeah, and then, so then she
Okay.
roasts him with the rest.
Yeah, getting roasted with the facts.
Yeah, exactly.
Like she's giving facts to prove that she's correct.
Yeah.
But she's equally just destroying his manhood. Why do you care so much? This is stupid.
Yeah, and he's like,
My God, woman.
Why do you care so much?
yeah, I think that's great.
Well, because originally, you guys gave me the note of like he should end it with, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
But yeah,
No, it doesn't matter.
Why do you,
But why do you
Yeah,
care
like,
so much?
why do you
is
care
funny.
so
why do you care so much? Is so that's
That's
so
pretty funny because it's like adding because he clearly cared so much
Yeah.
about being right. So
Right.
it's like he's
Yeah.
contradicting himself.
I'm gonna use a marketing
Yeah.
term here. I think you should A/B test that joke. You should
Oh, I
try-
like that.
You should try
yeah.
both and see how it feels.
oh,
Because I think they're both really funny, and I think
That's
y-
the power of
both,
open mics.
They both kind of do the same thing, but yeah, it's like it doesn't matter, like a throwaway. Yeah, it doesn't matter as soon as it affects him. That's good stuff, man. I'm excited. Have you tried that yet?
no.
Okay.
I for sure have not, but I mean, I think I'll try it. If I do a mic tomorrow, I'll try it out
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I can't wait to live
If-
that life. If I
Yeah.
do a mic tomorrow,
Dude, we're gonna get there.
I know precisely
We're gonna
when my
get
next
there.
mic is. It's
Yeah,
a week from
it's
today.
it's a week from today.
And then after that, 2 weeks after that.
Okay,
Oh,
we're gonna start our open mic in Reading.
Yeah, July.
Yeah. One
do it.
one update about my open mic like goal of doing 150. So we're in May. We're almost halfway through May. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that
Which is
wild?
almost halfway through the year. So I should be close to 75 mics right now.
No, we're not halfway through the year until the end of June.
Yeah, July 1st
Yeah,
is
so
kind
you
of like
still got 6 weeks.
my birthday is kind of like the halfway point of the year. So you
Yeah,
have till my
but-
birthday.
What is your birthday?
July 1st.
Oh man,
Which
can't wait.
it's not technically the first. It's not technically like the half of the year, but
Yeah.
I think it is.
That's awesome.
Wouldn't it be?
But
Anyway,
it
Mitch
is.
has nothing. It's so unimportant. Oh my God, that's so unimportant. Mitch, you
No,
have.
I mean,
how many should you
all
be
I
at?
was saying was right now I am at 49 mics,
Oh
and
my
it's
gosh,
like
dude.
That's
so
really
You're a
awesome.
third of the way through. That's
yeah, but
amazing.
we're almost halfway through the year.
No, you can't think like that.
Here's the deal, Mitch.
No, we're a third of the way
I
through
mean-
the year. I mean, a little more than a
it's,
third.
it's not a goal that I'm just gonna be like, all right, well, I'm throwing that one out the window.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, well, I need to like.
Like, what was the other goal
grind
that
it
you
out.
instantly gave up on? The
Taking
picture
a
every
picture
day.
every day.
Yeah, too much
Right.
work.
That's a lot.
Right
A lot
now,
of
I should have
storage.
like 130 pictures of myself, and I have 8.
To be fair, that's a lot of storage. It's like, iPhone storage goes away so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Let's talk about it. Let's do a segment.
It hurts. That's it. The amount of hours I spend deleting videos I didn't need to take. Too much.
Oh, yeah.
I always take an Instagram video. I'm like, I'll save that. I'm gonna look at that. I'm like,
You never look at it
hundreds of them. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I got a video of 2 hummingbirds fighting. It was pretty cool, but the quality was garbage. I'm like,
could you airdrop
who
that
is
to me,
ever going to
actually?
watch this? They're territorial as shit.
I didn't
Is
know
it
that.
4K?
Oh, yeah. We had this little hummingbird by the feeder, and what a little bastard. He would post up on the branch far away, and he'd just sit there. He's not thirsty. He's not doing it. He's already had his fill, and he's sitting up there, and he's just chilling, and then this other one would come, and it would get close to feeder, and it would, and they would just like fight, and then he'd shoo off, and he'd go back to his branch, and he'd just sit. And he'd wait and he would do it with any hummingbird that came up in its grill. I was like, you territorial little F.
Yeah.
Did you hear like metal clinking sounds as they were fighting? I imagine their beaks like ding, ding,
Well,
ding,
they
ding,
make
ding.
this noise. They make this noise. They go, tick, 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 and they, it's very aggressive for how cute they are.
Wow. Dude,
Yeah.
you have Foley artist. And if teaching doesn't work out, you should move to Hollywood again and become a Foley
I
artist.
don't know if you know. I was the hummingbird sound in the Pixar film Birds at War.
But no, the beaks of hummingbirds have little sharp teeth.
I didn't know that.
Little sharp teeth?
I could be wrong.
And with that, I think we'll wrap up the podcast.
Yeah, actually, because the bit I have was the chess thing that I'm working on. So let's wrap it up.
So I assume that I didn't mean to cut you off if you did have something else.
Nope. Okay. No, just the chess. That's going to be kind of
Earlier,
working
you're
on that. Chess is life. That's it.
Chess is like, ladies and gentlemen,
Chess
this is
life.
Trey
Well,
Ellis
I am.
reminding you, along with Evan Pearson and Mitchell Mack, that chess
Chess
is life. And I
Chess
could be
is love.
completely
I
wrong about
challenge
chess
the
is life.
listeners. I challenge the listeners at home. Walk into your life and see where the bishops and the knights are. You're going to be like, oh, I need to make some moves. Just view your life as chess this week, and you'll be like, my gosh, he was right. We're starting a movement, guys.
This is
It's
coming from a
called-
guy.
It's called rook to e4. I don't know what kind of move that would be. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Let's end this thing.
All right. My name's Trey Ellis,
I'm Evan Pearson.
And I'm Mitchell Mack.
and you've been listening to Unpaid Regulars. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
I need that.